Welcome to The Vinyl Verdict, the show where you're truly one of our friends. You're here with us at the table. I'm Bell.
I'm Jamie.
I am Plouffe.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's very true.
There was hesitation.
I just don't know
I don't
ever
know.
I
which
am
name
Plouffe?
to go by. This job has caused an identity
I
crisis.
agree. I'm
within
never
me.
Bell anywhere.
You say I'm
And
never
now I'm Bell
Plouffe.
because that's all
And
you know me
and
as.
I've worked in other jobs that have had like 5 Nicks in it, and various like Nicholas, Nick, Nicky, whatever. It's never been an issue. It's always like Nick C, Nick P. At worst case scenario, no one goes
You
by
can
last
go by
name.
Nicky P.
Funny enough,
Big Nicky P.
only person I actually don't like being called
Dirty Nicky P.
I know that we're very much sidetracking, but like my buddy Gopal says it with an
Gopal?
Indian accent, and it sounds fucking great, and I'm
Is
fine
he
with
Indian?
it. Yeah.
Okay, we don't have to cancel
What's
him.
name's Gopal? What do you expect him to be?
I thought he was
Well, I
just
don't know. I
cheering
thought that was
for
a
him.
nick-
no.
Yeah, they were cheering
nickname.
for
Yeah.
You're like,
Go
go
Paul. Go Paul.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, but he's like, I'm not gonna do the accent because people are
Yeah,
gonna roast the
don't.
shit out of me.
Let me tell you.
But it sounds awesome when he says it. So like, that's the only person who I let call me Nicky. But
Let's just let it sit that he was about to do that accent.
I was thinking about it. I've done it for
Immediately
my
canceled.
girlfriend, and that's the only time where it's
His
okay.
girlfriend is.
We've never actually
yeah.
released a podcast, and we're getting canceled already.
Sorry, boys.
Yeah, so this week we're listening to Slide by George Clanton.
I listened to a completely different album. I'm really sorry.
Oh shit. Just make a note
Classic.
that it's
Listen to George
April-
Clanton by
I listened.
Slide.
No, I
First
listened
today.
I listened to George Clinton instead. It was funky.
Sax by George Clanton. George Clanton is a 34-year-old vaporwave synth pop shoegaze musician and a 311 fan. And this week we listened to his album
no.
Slide, which is
I like him less now.
it's his 15th album. That
No
at least
shit.
is like on Spotify, but it's his second as George Clanton.
Right, because he's done a lot of ESPRIT stuff, right?
Yeah, Esprit.
I call him Esprit, like the
okay.
Lotus, which is spelled the same way.
That is how you pronounce it,
Oh,
as far as
you
I'm
know
aware.
what? I didn't even know it was pronounced that way. I like that same car, but I've always
Yeah.
said ESPRIT.
I liked it when James Bond had the one that was a submarine. It was fucking sick.
He also was Mirror Kisses, which was also very, very popular.
I
in
have a
Kids
Mirror
Garden.
Kisses album. I didn't know that it was
that's
George
cool.
Clinton.
Clanton. Yeah, not Clinton.
That guy.
As somebody,
President
if you're
Clinton.
somebody who enjoys substances, relaxing on your couch, this is the album for you. I gotta say, you gotta be in a headspace. You want to be like, hey, going out on a nice, fun summer day, and like this is gonna be a kind of maybe a bit of a different vibe depending on who you are.
I would actually totally drive to this.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I think
But you
it's
are
a good-
somebody who does substances.
Yes, but I don't drink and drive or smoke and drive. So I
Okay, he's winking right now.
no, I'm not.
Wow.
But
He
I
wanted to do an accent and he drinks.
no. I would
Nicholas Plouffe.
I would drive around. I would drive around to this.
Send your hate mail to. This album I listened to in 2 different ways. I was telling Plouffe earlier at the office that I listened to it first on my headphones the other night when I was reading a book in bed, and I had them on, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty good album. And then yesterday I put it through my stereo, and I was like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. It sounded really good through my stereo.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
To get back to the intro, it's a bit of a hard intro to write. As I don't even know where to start with George Clanton. Again, with this being his 15th album, going through so many different names and projects, and even collabing with 311, which was his favorite band. So Nick Hexum, he has an album with him.
So
Fuck 311.
Hey, I like a few 311 songs.
Who doesn't like Amber?
Yeah, Amber. It's such a great song.
Amber is the color of Aurora.
Hey,
Energy.
hey,
All right. You know it's energy.
Amber is the
There's
color
there's
of
a
your energy. It's been in like so many movies and shit. Like it's a good song.
Okay, there's a 311 cruise every year.
Oh god, I mean I'm not.
Is it
like
on March
that big.
11th?
Yes, it is on March 11th.
It was recently.
Yeah.
311 Day.
311 day.
Hey, like don't get me wrong, I'm not a
Fuck
giant
them.
fan, but they've got a few songs.
You got Nick Hexum posters on your wall. You got the 311 tattoo as a tramp
Yeah,
stamp.
you know, 311 just on my forehead.
Underneath your eye.
Yeah,
Like a
311.
prison tat.
No, but they've got a few other like really good tracks. They do the Beautiful Disaster as well. That one's good.
No, everything 311's ever put out is
Jesus
garbage.
Christ.
Fucking sucks.
Okay, my next album
take.
pick will be
Yeah,
a
absolutely
311
awful
album.
take.
You don't have a 311.
I don't
album.
yet. I need a number album. I don't have a number band in my record list.
Oh man, fuck! Why make it 311? Fuck 311. Fuck it so bad. Pick Maroon 5 or something.
I hate
don't know.
Maroon 5. That'd be an M band.
Speaking of Maroon 5, George Clanton is the co-owner of a record label named
Nice.
100% Electronica, which he founded with his wife, Lindsay French, who's also well known in the vaporwave space.
I didn't know
And
that.
makes music under the name Neggy Gemmy, or Negative
okay.
Gemini for long. Definitely check out her single Utopia. Clown Cleaner, bad song name, banger song.
Yeah.
Really?
Absolute
You
banger
don't want to
song.
clean clowns?
I mean, I'm sure they do need to be cleaned. Do I want to be the cleaner? Questionable. George Clanton is known for his dreamy beats that sometimes tiptoe into harsh, almost grungy beats,
Yeah.
and his raw vocals add the charm of someone that just loves making music, whether or not they have the conventionally pretty song like sound or not. Which you'll notice in a lot of these, where it's like,
Yeah.
it's definitely a bit more
Some of my
not amateur, but like rough.
some
compared
of,
to
some of
something
my
else.
more
Gritty.
general notes
Gritty, yes.
are
Yes.
comment on it being like industrial.
Yes.
Like it's really
it does sound like a KMFDM album.
kind of. It's
Yeah.
very 90s industrial to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
I only own like 2 KMFDM albums.
I
But
don't even listen to KMFDM.
they're like an industrial band. They're German.
Oh, nice.
They were kind of big in the late 80s.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And then in the early 90s. And then 9 Inch Nails came out. Nobody remembers them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
big, much bigger Nine Inch Nails
And
fan.
the Sonic Youth.
This guy was also influenced not by 311. I've read a little bit on Wikipedia. There was another band that he commented. He used to go to a lot of punk shows, and then he picked up a mistitled track or something, and it was by some other band. I can't remember who it was, but I listened to some of their stuff
Brian
briefly.
Jonestown Massacre.
Yes, yeah. A band I've like heard the name a few times, but I never listened to them.
They do the theme song to Boardwalk Empire.
Oh no
That's so
way!
random.
That's super cool. It doesn't really fit them either. Wait, well, I'd have to listen to Boardwalk Empire, I guess. It's been like, what, 8 years or something?
Yeah, since it's been on
Okay,
TV.
what? Oh, it's a good show. You should watch it. Anyway, I definitely heard a lot of influence there, too. They're kind of like weirdly industrial, too. And that's
This one's
the
more of a
theme I get.
bluesy sound, bro. The theme song to Boardwalk Empire is almost bluesy.
Yeah, trust me. The album I was listening to, that was like their second album or something back in 93.
Oh,
I
that
think.
makes sense,
That
yeah.
was much more like industrial.
Yeah.
Check out next week when we listen to the Boardwalk Empire soundtrack. We will talk at length about the theme song. But for the other kind of themes in the album, it's like I said, more vaporwave, which if you have never heard, it's like
yeah.
electronic music that taps more into nostalgia with a lot of kind of retro tech sounds and synths. It's a very visual genre of music, which
Yeah.
sounds weird, but if you've seen the rebirth of
Yeah.
Windows 98 theme things, Pink, Vector Sunsets,
Yeah.
you've seen vaporwave, and it's the kind of music that goes
Simpsons
along with it.
Wave. You ever listen to
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Frank Javc, a shout out
Yeah.
for
Shout out
Simpson
to
Wave.
Home. Home is probably my favorite vaporwave artist.
So I love vaporwave, but I'm not like a huge fan.
Yeah.
And I've listened to a lot of like giant playlist on YouTube kind of thing, and I love everything I listen to, but I've never gone out and like bought a bunch of vaporwave or anything. I have one vaporwave album, and it's the Nautilus album I have.
Yeah.
Great album.
Oh, no, it's fucking sick.
Yeah. It's a wicked album, but like, so I don't know like any of the names you guys are saying,
Okay.
but I'm sure.
You ever heard of Macintosh Plus?
No.
You've seen the album.
I've
cover.
probably
It's the one with like the
I've-
statue head.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like
I
the
know
It's the
exactly
most
what
like
you're
yeah,
talking
it's the
about.
most iconic.
Yeah.
Like well, it's when people think vaporwave,
Yeah,
it's
that's what
usually
they think of,
yeah,
totally.
that statue of I
Yeah,
think
whatever
that's
his name is.
Alexander
Caesar?
the Great.
Sure.
Yeah, someone.
I'm not fact checking. Jamie, pull that up.
Oof, Jamie
Yeah,
pulled that
pull
one
it up, Jamie.
So I found George Clanton through his VR concert series on YouTube, VR Utopia.
Cool.
I heard about it through the YouTuber and musician Matt Watson because he was playing in it, and I'm super into VR,
Yeah,
So I was
Matt
intrigued to
Watson's
watch
good.
my first live concert, and it was great.
You didn't
But-
watch it in Fortnite?
Thank God, no. But I went back and I watched the first one that they did in April of 2020. Man, amazing. Got me hooked on George Clanton, Negative Gemini. Well, that was her name at the time, now Neggy Gemmy. And if my mom's listening, this never happened. But I'd recently got into psychedelics and going to Shambhala, which is very stereotypical if you're
Yeah.
from Canada. And George's
Colin goes to
music.
Shambhala every year, doesn't
yeah,
he?
he
Sure
does.
does. He'll be on the podcast soon enough. But George's music just like hit different, and like right after that, I listened to Slide, and now it's one of my favorite albums of all time. Like whether or not I'm under the influence, man, it slaps.
If I was under the like influence of something that was incredibly mind altering, I don't think I'd listen to this album. It made me feel very anxious,
really,
Really? And brought anxiety?
a little bit.
I think that it's got some. So for me, it felt lost.
Oh.
Yeah, it reminded me of walking around. I don't know if you've ever been in a mall after hours or like really, really close to closing.
Yeah.
Like West Edmonton Mall, you can like stay in the hotel and then check out the hotel after hours, basically.
There's a good YouTube channel about West Edmonton Mall. Guess what it's called?
That's what that feeling's called?
Canopsia is seeing somewhere that's usually bustling with people being empty.
Yeah,
Maybe that being off, like unsettling.
Oh, like if you go into an abandoned building and it feels strange.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, it's all set up to like have people here, but it's empty.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know why, but that's kind of the feeling that this whole album evoked for me. Not in a bad way, but in like just a like lost kind of. I think it's the really dreamy, airy vocals.
Yeah, there's
a lot of
reverb.
reverb.
Yeah. And like echoes. And again, we'll talk more specifically, but a lot of callbacks later in the song and stuff like that. So I can definitely feel that.
I think one thing that struck me about the album, and I read a couple of articles about George Clanton, and one of the things he said was that if he hears a sound or like a sequence that he really likes, he uses it a lot. And I noticed that in the fucking album after I listened to it. It's like
one of my
notes. The fucking sequences in the same songs. There's multiple songs with the same sequence. They could all be the one song.
My only complaint,
AC/DC's one song.
My only complaint about the album is that it's very consistent.
Yes,
and it's kind of samey because, and it's not songs are samey. It's that parts of songs
are samey,
and that's exactly
Even,
what
sort
it
of
is.
like
even lyrics will be called back.
The Beths. It's the Beths all over again. They got a solo 2 minutes in.
Yeah, they got a solo 2 minutes in. He's got that synth gong in there.
Yeah,
like every time. Yeah. Great album though. I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed this album. Unlike the Beths.
That's okay. I like that album.
Onto the record itself. So the album has a cool look to it, with a cover being the lanky George Clanton going down a children's slide with slide written in Sharpie font that looks like it was written by someone wearing Jean Co jeans.
Yeah, I love it.
Like that's I don't know the style.
It looks like it was written on a bus shelter.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. Mine has a damaged corner. Thanks shipping from California to Vancouver. Not far. They'll still mess it up though.
Yeah.
But the record itself is split down the middle, half white, half blue. That has a very candy look to it. It seems like
I appreciate that too.
Yeah, it's very pretty. I think both of us, we hadn't seen it yet. Belle owns it. Both me and Jamie commented on it like as soon as we saw it in person.
It's like a black and white cookie.
Yeah. Except blue and white. It's really nice. I actually really like the album art. It's got that weird like up angle shot of him going down the slide.
What's another album that has a cover?
I know
like
it's
that?
it's reminiscent of something, right?
It's like an album that was very popular when we were kids.
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
The whole album, like, I mean, that's kind of the point of Vaporwave, is the whole nostalgia thing.
Yeah.
And being in a children's slide, especially, where it's like, oh yeah, going to a playground when you're no longer a kid.
Totally. I think the biggest thing that actually sounded 90s from this for me, though, was the drums.
Yes.
Right? They're very 90s drums.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
But they're loud and
just kind of like beady.
Yes.
I don't know how else
they're
to
clearly a
describe
drum
it.
machine.
Yeah. It's very it's like when 90s artists were using drum machines a lot in the 90s.
You have ZZ Top's Afterburner, right?
Yeah, I have Afterburner.
Okay,
is that after what's his face?
So Frank Beard is the drummer for ZZ Top, right? Frank Beard is the only guy without a mustache in ZZ Top. Oh, sorry, without a beard in ZZ Top.
Does have a mustache.
But ZZ Top's Eliminator and Afterburner, both albums do not have him play on it because they use a drum machine.
Yeah.
And that's why the drums sound huge.
Yeah. It's the same thing with a lot of John Frusciante's solo albums.
Yeah.
They use drum machines in them, and it just sounds too
on
clean.
The beat.
Yeah, they're too perfect.
There's no mistakes.
It's a big tip I've heard from music producers to go through your track after you've done your drums and like move them ever just so slightly
off the beat
to make it not perfect anymore. Yeah,
because it's disconcerting. I think is because there's no person who keeps perfect time.
No,
and like I have a Steve Miller album, like Steve Miller Band.
Yeah,
and the song gets faster as it gets through because someone was like either like super high or like just didn't remember what time signature they wanted to be in, because the song starts off in like 4/4 and ends in like 7/4 and like nobody seems to notice, and then at the end like someone was like, oh shit, we're going too fast. and it slows back down almost too slow, and then the song ends.
I hate that.
And then they released it.
That's the worst concert I've been to, at least in a long time, was Beck.
Oh,
his
yeah?
band played too fast. And you could see him turning around trying to get them to slow down.
No way.
But every song was like way too fast. And he's like, and it's like that exact problem where I'm like, how is like every song just that?
I'm a
much
loser,
faster?
baby.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is going on?
How that's surprising that something like that would happen to someone like Beck too,
Right?
like in this day and age as well. That
Yeah, it was
sounds like
crazy.
that's like a smaller band kind of problem.
So I got to see
It happened
Beck
to me
again.
at Death from Above too.
Oh really? They all played too fast?
Death from Above played.
There's only
it's
two
only
guys,
two
though,
guys.
yeah.
They were either in a real hurry to play through their entire album, or they were just like they were over
Yeah, I
it.
just had to pee.
Yeah, someone had to be.
Maybe they're just feeling it. You know, they're just like, let's go a little harder. And
Yeah, it was almost too fast though. It was
Oh,
like
yeah.
ear-splittingly too fast.
Mm.
Same thing actually happened, but to a lesser degree at a Black Keys concert I went to. Same thing.
Same
Only
thing,
two
two
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
One's a drummer. There's like really no excuse to
Yeah.
have the timing off.
Yeah.
But he was. I never realized how big the guy who plays the drums in Black
Oh,
Keys
yeah?
is. He's
Big
like
dude?
6'8",
Oh, shit.
and he's just like a gorilla singing
That's
the
too tall.
drums. Yeah,
That's too tall.
yeah, too big. Anyway, sorry, George Clanton.
Man, it wasn't supposed to be that
Yeah.
tall. So nothing's included with this album. I like the simplicity. Like the entire album looks like it's something that someone just make for themselves, a low-key
Yes.
show.
Yeah.
The album itself, or the record itself, the record label has
Does it have
nice
a
Sharpie
gatefold?
writing. Nope, nothing.
No, nothing.
On the spine of it is, again, the Sharpie writing that actually even just looks to me like someone wrote it in the record shop
Yeah.
before they mailed it out, that it's this album kind of thing, which I really enjoy. But of course, as someone who really likes this album, I wish there was something included. When I bought this, there were no other special editions. There
How much?
are always a lot of re-releases of different colors and stuff, but as far as I'm aware, there's never been
Yeah.
like
There's
something
no
with
insert,
more stuff.
lyric insert, or
No, or
anything
with a
like
gatefold
that.
or anything like that.
Did it come with a digital download at least?
No,
No,
it's like literally just the record,
Yeah.
which again, I like the simplicity, but I want
this
more.
record doesn't even have a barcode on it.
No,
Well,
because
it's
it's like
a-
from them.
Yeah,
Yeah, doesn't he have his own record label?
Yeah, when you go
Yeah.
to their Twitch channel, it's just their stock room, and you can like see them go grab it,
That's
put it in
cool.
a
no
mailer, and send
fucking
it.
way. That's cool.
But
The-
again, they need
The
more padding in their
back
shipping.
of the album looks sort of like the back of Bruce Springsteen's "Born in the USA."
I don't know the back of that. What the back of that
It
album
looks like
Just
it's
looks
just
something
it's
like
just
that?
yeah, it's just like the back of his jeans.
Oh yeah. It was the front of his jeans.
And yeah, so then it's like the cover of Sticky Fingers by the Stones, which is just a guy with a boner in
Hell yeah.
jeans.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite album.
It's a great album.
Never listened to it, but I love it.
It's the one with
Uh,
brown sugar.
One cool thing that this guy also started doing is he started the Vaporwave Festival
No fucking way. I
like a
didn't know
few
that.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another thing I was reading earlier.
Vaporwave is something that's really hard to play live though, because it's like a lot of samples of like 80s songs that like are
It's-
kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like a DJ or something, right? Like that's fine. There's lots of live electronica shows.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
he just plays the instrumentals and then he sings live for
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've watched a couple of his live shows on YouTube, and
Has
man,
he
they
ever
slap.
performed live as Esprit?
Probably. I don't know though.
Yeah, because like if I was gonna pick a George Clanton album, like
Yeah,
as
Esprit?
Esprit or like,
Are you doing
Mirror
Virtua.zip? Because that's like the most
yeah,
popular
that's
Esprit.
probably my favorite Esprit album. Yeah, but like I'm not listening to. I don't think I'd listen to Slide if I wanted to experience George Clanton again. I would probably listen to one of his instrumental ones because I think I like him as an instrumental artist more than I like him as a lyricist.
I think the vocals that he brings to this actually makes it feel like more accessible vaporwave.
Sure,
Because
I agree with that.
a lot of it is just instrumental, and I like instrumental, and that's why I think a lot of vaporwave.
Someone
but
called it trip hop too. I don't know if
It's
it
not
technically.
trip hop.
I don't
I
think it
wouldn't-
technically counts.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
call this trip hop at all. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised by that. Actually,
I think it was an
I'd call-
enemy or
if anything, I call it
pitchfork.
like industrial vaporwave or something. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what else. I don't know how to really. I also just hate genres at this point. There's so many fucking genres, and there's like subgenres of subgenres.
I know. That's
and
why even
can't
when I
keep
said
up.
like shoegaze, I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I guess. But like,
Yeah, is he really
well,
shoegaze? When you said it too, I was like, shoegaze is like incredibly hard, like math rock almost, where it's
Yeah.
like crazy guitar riffs. It's called shoegaze
Well,
because
no,
they had to stick
yeah,
their
exactly.
shoes to
Exactly.
look where they had their notes and shit.
Well, no,
Well, the
that,
effects
it was
pedals.
pedal. It
Oh,
was
pedals.
effects pedals.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
That's what I
effects
was
pedals.
thinking.
pedals.
Yeah. So yeah, shoegaze. Like if I think shoegaze, I think bands like Sunny Day Real Estate
Oh,
or
yeah,
something
sure.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, this does not seem like shoegaze to me.
The only thing that makes it shoegaze is the amount of effects he puts on it. But
Sure,
he's not doing that with an
doesn't-
effect.
Or if you watch
pedal.
him live with like the head bob down,
Oh, really?
singing songs and stuff like that.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's just his vibe.
Yeah, it's the long emo hair.
Yeah.
Cool.
Rock on. He's like 6'8", so it's really hard to be emo when
Oh,
you're
he
so
could
tall.
be friends with the guy from
He probably is the drummer from the Black
Black
Keys.
Keys.
Yeah. He is the same person.
same guy,
It's crazy.
Patrick Carney.
Well, let's share some thoughts on the songs themselves, but before we do, let's give the album one last
One
listen.
more listen.
There we go, man. I love this album, so I'm gonna try not to dominate the conversation too much. So, but what do you guys think?
I like the start of it, actually.
Yeah, it starts off with a bang. My tagline for this is it was 40 minutes of fun.
That's pretty good.
I
Oh,
liked
that's
it.
catchy. Someone should use that.
Yeah, 40
Someone should
minutes
use- yeah.
of fun.
Well, Sum 41 had an album called Half Hour Power.
Oh, that's good too.
Yeah.
The opening track, Livin' Large, it actually, so weirdly enough, it reminded me of the ending of Trainspotting.
Living Loose, by the way.
Oh, is it Living Loose?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, sorry. Well, anyway, it reminded me of, the ending of Trainspotting, and I went and listened to the song at the ending of Trainspotting, and it's like, it's not really the same, but I kind of understand where I was coming from. But yeah, it, like, instantly transported me back to, like, the late 90s.
Like where the baby's crawling on the ceiling?
No.
First of
when
all,
he,
no
like-
spoilers. I've never seen Trainspotting.
What? It's from 1999.
I actually want to watch it. Like, I actively
Dude.
want to watch
It's
it.
on
Oh,
Netflix
fuck,
right
it's
now.
like a legit spoiler at the end.
I know,
so
no
no,
spoilers.
not with the.
I'm excited to watch it. I actually actively want
Okay,
to.
we'll watch it. It's a great movie.
Okay.
Don't watch the second
I'll
one.
do it this weekend.
The
But-
second one is fucking dog shit.
Yeah,
Also,
it's so
the second the fuck is that? The one about SLC Punk. The second SLC Punk is fucking terrible.
Oh, it sounds really familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
It's
But this album is not terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, those first synths though, that like gongs.
Yeah.
iconic.
yeah.
This is definitely what I would consider the best.
It starts
song
off
on the album.
loud.
I don't know if it's my
Rowdy
favorite
even.
song, but I think
No.
when I like for this genre, for this album, for George Clanton, I think this is the best song.
I'd say the first four albums four songs on the album
Very strong.
are very strong.
Yeah, the first half of the album is easily my favorite half.
Yes. But keep in mind that this album was not produced for LP. It was produced for
Sure.
like digital. So like
It doesn't matter where
distinguishing,
they cut the tracks. distinguishing
where the first half of the album is.
But it
is-
does
Where
almost.
does it end?
It almost does though. So it ends on Blast Off,
Yeah,
which
okay.
is pretty much an intermission.
Yeah, I
So
agree
like
with
it
that,
kind of
yeah.
does just happen to kind of feel like that, and there is a bit of a tonal shift after that. But I mean, we can talk about that in a bit. But yeah, I do agree. The first four songs definitely have the same kind of tone or
Yeah.
like speed.
I
I
love
find them really good.
If Tommy, like the Who album, is a rock opera, this one might be like a vaporwave opera.
I could
Like,
see that.
Yeah, because like
Weirdly
they
enough.
all have like a similar tone.
Yeah, and the callbacks, and
Yeah.
the speed change,
Yeah.
So
I like the second song.
make it forever.
Yeah, where the synths and the drums come up at the end of like every verse though. It's like it's not a drop, but like it's they everything just comes up as soon as he's done saying his last line at every verse, and it feels really good.
Yeah, that's his most popular song.
Is it? Yeah, I'm not like super surprised. It was
according to Spotify.
it was
at
kind
least.
of catchy. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
okay.
that one. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it was one of the strongest.
It's
What's
just
his-
so funny because like the vocals, when you actually listen to the words, it's like we can convene and make it forever. I'm like, what? Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Sure.
It's kind of cheesy, but yeah.
so I thought in the first song it was very difficult to make out the lyrics, and had Spotify not had the lyrics roll
I
as
think
part of it.
most of the lyrics were hard to make out a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Like some songs, I just definitely
I
don't
actually
know what he was
kind of
saying.
enjoy that because, like you said about the lyrics making it accessible, I feel like that kind of brought it back to me being like, oh, I'm just enjoying this for the fact that it is a little bit harder to understand. Like the lyrics make me pay more attention to it instead of it just being complete background. But I just kind of enjoyed the "Tie Me Down," which is the third song.
Okay.
I really liked the grunger da 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 da, and I was like, oh, even though I don't know what he's saying at all, I still am rocking my head. I'm like, this freaking rocks.
It's funny. I do agree that the first half of the album's better, but I actually don't like that one that much.
Really?
Really?
That's my favorite song.
That was one of the only ones that I wasn't I even wrote down not crazy about it. It's not bad, but I don't know. I just didn't think the vocals were as catchy for that one actually.
Fair.
So I just didn't get into it as
I
much.
do feel like that one might have benefited from some light harmonies. He does use horns and stuff to be the kind of harmonies, but I just wanted it to have harmonies to kind of bring it together a little
If
bit
you
more.
use a Vocaloid, one of those things, the computer singing along with them.
Yeah, that's actually never used. If there's
Yeah.
any vocals or words, it's him.
Yeah.
There's never any thing, which is very vaporwave to have.
Yeah. 'cause
Windows Sam or something.
Yeah, or what they did on some of the Phil Collins albums. If you listen to Another Day in Paradise, the thing harmonizing along with him is a computer.
Oh, I never noticed.
If
that.
you listen to the track, just the isolated track, it sounds kind of creepy, like a robot's talking to him. But it's kind of neat when you put the whole album together or the whole song together. It doesn't sound as creepy, but if you isolate it, it's just kind of off-putting. I thought it would be that would add something to this album because some of the songs are kind of off-putting, but not in a terrible way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, Lost.
Yeah,
It's not bad yet. It's not scary yet. But you're kind of lost. You gotta figure shit out.
One of my favorite things on YouTube right now is the concept of it's a song you like, but it's being played through you can hear it through a car window, but you're in another car, or you're in a bathroom at a club, and the song is bumping.
Yeah, you got the low pass filter on it.
Yeah,
I've been listening to a lot of it's the 40s and your parents are partying downstairs and you're a kid sleeping upstairs or something. So it's this old-timey 40s 50s music in the very dim background, and rain on the window and stuff. So yeah.
There's it's Steely Dan being played on a mall radio, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon. Nobody's in the mall, and you're in the food court.
This is the most. You're getting so into how do you get so specific?
Yeah.
Man,
how
this
do you
is
discover that on YouTube? What is the algorithm? I just get Doomer jazz to listen while the nuke is incoming.
Love that shit. It's Pepe Man and stuff.
Yeah, it's Wojak in a taxi cab.
Or my favorite current video, sponsor messages to fall asleep.
Yeah,
to.
10 hours out.
It was so bad. It was so bad.
What the heck? I put a lot of work into that.
It's bad in a good way.
Yeah.
Oh, man. It
was bad with the pH.
It made me feel very uncomfortable, but very interested at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the start of Dumb, but the rest of it I fucking like. I think Dumb's probably my favorite track on the whole album actually, but I don't like the first 20 seconds, 30 seconds, something like that.
Yeah, it's a slow build.
Yeah.
Something I don't like about a lot of the tracks on the album are that they sound very distorted sometimes, but sometimes distorted in a way that detracts from the overall.
Oh, it's not vaporwave kind of distortion.
It's just
It's the industrial side of things.
Yeah.
It's grindy.
Yeah.
Not like a grindcore album, not like Cannibal Corpse or
See, I think Dumb is the only one.
Bathtub
Oh God. I think Dumb is the only one that maybe crosses into that in the later side of things because it'll just be that kind of tonal do 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 do, and it get louder and louder. But maybe it's just because I liked it, so it doesn't really click for me as that being a sound because it's just oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, digging the vibe as the youngins say.
Mm-hmm.
Digging that aesthetic.
Yeah, I was vibing.
Yeah.
Feeling really wavy.
It was all a vibe.
Mm-hmm. But as we head into the second side of the album, Blast Off is my least favorite song, just because it's an intermission. Like, I mean, why would that be my favorite song, or a song I even want to listen to? I'm just gonna.
Isn't that the same with Encore? I think like the second last track or whatever.
So I kind of like Encore.
Oh,
I don't
really?
like the place for it. It feels like there's an intermission at the end of the album.
That's an encore.
But then it comes back up. But it's just a part of Walk Slowly. If you listen to just Encore and you have skip on, just randomly halfway what feels like through a song, it skips because it's a smooth transition into Walk Slowly.
Yeah.
Why not just have it be 1 6-minute song like all of
just
the other or 5 minutes?
Yeah, it's kind of strange because the previous song is like almost, well, it's just over 6 minutes long.
Yeah,
right?
it's a long one. Yeah.
And then like
It's
it transitions into Encore, and then it goes into Walk Slowly, and it's like, was that 2 songs?
I did have to. This was it was the only song where I like got distracted and started doing stuff every time Encore came. I had to listen to it 3 times to actually realize like what I was listening to.
Yeah.
But by the time, because of how it's titled as Encore, it reminds me of that like ambient noise in a concert when you're waiting for the encore. Like there's a crowd and they think they're
song.
Yeah, people haven't started chanting yet, but they're waiting to see if they'll come back.
Play the funky music.
The lights come on, but they're not like fully on.
You know what? I now feel it. I get that.
I kind of
because even there's callbacks to Livin' Loose, so it's like there's just music on the speakers ambiently kind of thing.
Yeah. So I don't know. I kind of dig it actually.
I just want it as the break point. I want that to be the first of side A or side B, to then ramp back up, I guess.
But it's the encore before the last.
I don't
song.
want it though. I don't want it. I don't want it to be an encore. It just feels like it's getting me back ready to listen to music, and then it's over again, and I'm like, oh,
That's
okay.
an encore. That's why I hate encores at concerts. I refuse to deal with them.
But an encore, the lights turn on. My record doesn't just spin and then you hear fuzz.
Yeah,
it's like, okay. But I do like Slide, which is the first one back. That one is very vaporwavy. It's so retro. It sounds like it's from a PS2 like drifting game or a club scene from a 90s movie where it's like really blurry.
From a midnight club
footage.
game.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very
This is
vaporwavy.
like my second favorite song for
Did you
sure.
ever play Hotline Miami?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
it's a great
love
one.
both games. I have the soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Oh, I might have sold it.
Hotline
this guy
Miami
sells vinyls, don't
Hotline
you?
Miami soundtrack. Doesn't it feel like spacey?
Oh yeah,
and-
it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hotline Miami is another one. It's a little bit more industrial.
Yes.
But yeah, this one I could see playing with like Virtual Fighter and like just like in an arcade.
I thought
Getting lost.
I thought the drums detracted from the vaporwaviness a little bit.
Sometimes.
But until they kick in on Slide, it's definitely easily the most vaporwavy song on the whole album, in my opinion.
I still like the drums. They still feel
I
a
don't
little.
hate them. I just think that they make it sound a little less vaporwavy.
It feels like GoldenEye drums though. Like it feels like crunchy
Yeah.
N64.
Yeah, kind of.
Or time splitters.
Like MIDI? Like the
Yeah.
MIDI drums? Yeah. Okay.
I really like the bass line that comes in about a third of the way through. I can't remember like how to kind of mimic it right now, but it's
mimic
really
it.
good.
Now, give me your impression.
I honestly can't even remember. I just
That's not
wrote
how the
down I
song goes
really
at all.
like the bass here.
And then the end really speeds up. It's
Yeah,
like all of a sudden
yeah.
gets really fast.
Is it the longest track?
6 minutes and 30 seconds. It is.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Good track though.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes into Monster, which
Yeah, sad.
yeah, that's definitely again I get the mall vibes. You're just
Yeah.
sitting, spacing out.
Yeah.
Things are happening. This one you can definitely understand what he's saying. It's just like
sounds like he's breaking up with his girlfriend or something.
yeah. It's just like
It seems like the kind of
Buddy.
song that they would use in a trailer for a movie or like an ad for like cologne, like those
Yeah.
stupid like Guess commercials that are like black and white and like
Yeah.
somebody's driving at night and it's just like what are they trying to sell me? What is it? Is it an insurance commercial? Is he going to hit a car or
experience.
something?
funny. I'm in the same kind of space because in my notes I have it feels like in a young adult movie. Like Donnie Darko or something, it'd be like the head resting against the window as it's raining and they're driving around.
Yeah, that's a
as they're
vibe.
getting driven
Yeah.
home from their parents, and it's just like, oh,
Their
I tried to
parents
take my
got-
shot with a girl.
Their parents are getting divorced. And he's moving out or she's moving out. They're going to like the other house and they're not going to see their other parent until Christmas.
Yeah.
But now they get 2 Christmases, so they're not that bummed.
This is too real.
Yeah. It reminded me of like breaking up with my first girlfriend. because we both moved and shit. So it was like, yeah, it's just weird.
Yeah,
got unsolved issues.
moved on.
Resolved. Still hung up, man. Still
I need closure. Stephanie.
I really liked the drum beat on "You Lost Me There." Was really prominent across the whole album. I think that's probably like the most drummy song. At least I thought so.
You know, one thing about the lyrics in the songs, and this just came to me while I was thinking about something else, but none of the songs really tell a story.
No, they're just like commentary. Or
Yeah,
like, I'm sad.
I kind of like
whatever.
songs that tell a story sometimes.
Okay, sure.
And like, I was surprised you didn't have one that was just like one that was just a story. Like a lot of albums, like a lot of Beatles albums have like a song that's like a story. Like No Reply is a story about a guy who goes to someone's house and the girl isn't there, but he thinks she might be there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's because it's a lot of like, I'm just gonna repeat this one line a few times, and then I'm gonna repeat this other one line a few times.
Yeah.
Really airily. So there's not enough. He's not saying enough different stuff to really tell a story at any point. It's just kind of like, I think it's supposed to be a moment in time.
Yeah. Or it's like when Strong Bad wrote a song, and it's just like the system is down. The system is down.
But he also wrote such masterpieces as Trogdor, so he can tell a story.
Oh yeah.
He just chooses not to.
And then Trogdor comes in the night.
Yeah, I do like You Lost Me There. Again, nice callback to Make It Forever. We actually hear more of the lyrics in this one because he doesn't stop at "we could convene and make it forever." Like, he actually keeps singing that line in this one, so it's like kind of interesting to see that growth.
Yeah.
But it still feels very unique, even though it is the same words, and like starts to feel like it's gonna go into that main hit, and it doesn't. And it's like, oh, okay, like it changed.
You
up a
almost
bit.
wonder
I
if
that.
like he wrote some of the songs as being like what if the song sounded like this, and then he wrote it as one way, and it became like Monster or whatever, and then like he wrote the same song but with different music, and that's why some of the words are reused, and it's like, well, it turned into this other song.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. That's what I have as a note for Walk Slowly. It's like,
man, we're on the same wavelength today.
With it calling again to past songs, it's like George just knew that some of these songs were really good, and it teeters on being odd that it's so self-referential. I do like the new vocals and how it changes things up, but it makes the last couple songs just feel like the bonus songs on a deluxe album, where it's like, this is kind of like the demo of this, because it has so many of the similar beats and similar words and whatever.
Yeah.
But it is new enough that I enjoyed it. But I was like, man, it's just like he knew that his first 4 songs were bangers.
Yeah.
And then he's like, okay.
I've got these other tracks that I kind of finished.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're still really good songs, so
good,
props to him. But it definitely does feel a little odd. I think it's still on the side of like, I like it and it's unique, instead of being like, this is lazy or demos instead of being real. But it is odd. It's not something I've really ever heard in a lot of songs where it's like, oh wow, this is a callback, and unless it's like a really long album, or it's telling a story like American Idiot, where it's literally a story,
which is
and it's
another
a
opera.
comeback. Yeah. So it's like interesting to hear it in this kind of short.
Or like what
songs.
the Who did, where there's callbacks to the overture from Tommy in every one of the songs, and so
I thought Walk Slowly was a good outro though.
yeah, sure.
I'm a big fan of the like slow fade out. Feels very like 90s movie to me.
Or like 70s album.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just freeze framed. It's like fading to black.
Star Wipe.
Slow star wipe to black. It's actually my first band name. Slow star wipe to black.
Huh.
It's too long of a name.
It's like
I never
Death
took
Cab
off.
for Cutie, but
Oh god, I don't even like that band at all.
Well, any other thoughts on songs?
No, we talked about them all. I don't know.
Right.
It was good. Do you have anything else, Jamie?
no,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
No?
How about I give my rating now?
Yeah, what's the
Wow.
vinyl verdict?
What is
I give it a 7.
what
It's a
are we
solid 7.
What are we doing out of still 13?
Is it out of 13? Then
I don't
if it's
know.
out of 13, it's a solid 8 then.
Where would you
Wow.
put it compared to the other albums you've listened to, including Chuck Mangione from last week?
Oh, Chuck Mangione. Jeez. Okay. Well, I really enjoyed Chuck Mangione's album. I'd probably go my album, which was The Who, then Chuck, then this album, then the Gorillaz, then the. Well, I have to put the Beths on somewhere, right? Like,
Yeah,
it has to go
cool.
somewhere.
They're at the bottom.
By the process of elimination, the Beths are below the Gorillaz
Yeah.
and just Gorillaz.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because that was the meme at the start of the first
Yeah, it's
episode.
always
That's
just
Gorillaz,
Gorillaz, but
but everyone
everyone
says
says
that.
the Gorillaz.
What about you, Plouffe? What's your final verdict?
Yeah. If it's out of 13, probably something similar, like an 8 or a 9. I think they're good. He's a solid vaporwave artist. I like I said before, I think it's like a more accessible kind of vaporwave for the person who's not really into it and
Sure.
like kind of needs some vocals. Doesn't not super big into instrumental. They can kind of dig it. As for how it stacks up against the others, it's closer to the top. Yeah, it's closer to the top. I don't want to like put an order really, but it's up there. It was
You
good.
legally have to put it in our contract.
Okay.
The publisher will come after us.
Okay, so it would probably then go.
Publishers Clearinghouse.
It'd probably go these guys, then the Beths, then
You don't have to recite the whole thing.
then
It was
Chuck
just that.
Mangione,
That's fine.
then the Now. No, now I gotta do it. And then I'm sorry, Jamie, but I'd have to put the Who at the bottom actually.
Damn.
Damn,
It's just because you put the
savage.
Beths at the bottom.
No, not
it's
even.
Like, I'll get him.
Not even. It's just I don't like Tommy, right? And it's mostly a Tommy album.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I actually like the Who, and I thought the album was good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's not even what you said during it. You're like, well, halfway through it.
yeah,
Like it petered off,
yeah.
which is fair. I mean, I didn't give some of the details. So this guy I got for $25 US.
That's fine.
For
Yeah.
what you paid for it, I would.
That's a-
Yeah.
that's a
good
typical
value.
record price.
Really
Yeah.
good value. And like I said, they do re-releases all the time. So I follow
Nice.
vinyl releases on Reddit. Don't follow it because I want the chance to buy albums. But there's always different colorways going up and stuff like that.
I was on video game vinyl,
right?
our video game vinyls for a long time.
I'm definitely subscribing to that now.
Yeah, dude.
Nerd.
Hey,
Right.
you know what? This nerd resold a bunch of video game soundtracks for like a lot of money.
And
Nerd.
they just re-released a picture disc version of this. I'm not a big fan of picture discs.
They're
but
usually
it
bad
comes with a
quality.
poster, so I was sad. I was like, man, I could have gone.
Oh, okay. Sure.
This is obviously the top of all of the albums for me.
Yeah.
By far, I'd give this an 11.5 out of 13.
Damn.
It's in my top 10 albums for sure. If I'm just listening to music while doing something, there's a 1 in 4 chance that this album is what I choose.
Okay, sure.
Like I definitely just enjoy it. If I didn't ruin my Spotify rewind last year trying to meme and make Donda chant my top song, which I
you
successfully did, but it ruined and made
Donda.
Kanye West my top artist, which he would probably be in the top 5, but it made him
Sure.
number 1.
Donda.
George Clanton would have been my number 1. So
Damn.
like he would be my top.
Okay, sure.
And all 90% of the hours would have been this album for
Yeah.
sure. So I definitely enjoy it. If you're new to the vaporwave scene and electronic music or anything like that, definitely pick this up. It's $25. Like that's really
Sure.
not that bad. And if you have VR, check out VR Utopia. They also stream every week a live show in VR. They don't always play music, but sometimes they'll just do a random set, and it's super rad.
Cool.
And I tried not to gush too much about the album, but it freaking rocks.
Next week we're gonna listen to another one of my albums.
Have you chosen yet? What is it?
We're gonna listen to "Crime of the Century" by our friends in Supertramp.
Oh shit! My dad had tons of Supertramp records. I like never listened to them, so I'm actually pretty excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What-
I don't know anything about them. I'm just like looking up Supertramp.
What's
right
the
now.
album art on that one?
It is.
It's
a
not the
piano.
waitress
No,
lady,
it's a
right?
jail bar
Yeah.
window
In
space,
space. Yeah.
and their name is written
That's
in
Breakfast
like,
in America. that
Yeah,
should
in
be-
the
in the
constellations font.
yeah.
It is super
Cool.
weird. I
Yeah,
don't know any of the songs
I'm
on this.
super down, Jamie. I'm
Wow,
looking
this is a
forward to
popular
it.
album.
Yeah, yeah.
Holy.
Supertramp was really big for a long
That's
time.
crazy. All of them
Yeah.
have millions of views.
Yeah,
Or listen,
dude.
sorry.
Nice. Okay.
I'm
sure.
excited.
Yeah.
Now let's wrap this up, and you guys can listen to the train spotting outro and tell me I'm crazy.
Okay, we'll put it in right now. So thanks for watching,
And
listening.
scene.
Goodbye.
See ya.